In this video, let's talk about the recognized genius of money and investment, Warren Buffett. He is ranked third on the Forbes list and has a fortune of just under $50 billion. It's curious that he started investing from a very young age, from 11 years old. Then he borrowed some money from his father and bought 3 shares of City Service at $38 per share. After Buffett made his first investment, stocks fell by almost a third. He was of course worried, but when the value of the securities rose to $40, he happily sold them. Also, the stock soared to $200 a few days later, and as Buffett himself admits, this story was a huge experience for him. Thanks to his first investment experience, he realized that now he would never be in a hurry in investing. Pay yourself first. If you have some kind of basic income that covers your initial needs, get in the habit of paying your bills first. Then set aside a certain percentage of the remaining amount for investments. Now it's very convenient to do this because bank cards allow us to set up auto payments. If you plan to transfer, for example, 5 or 10% of any income immediately to the savings account, you will not even notice that you have less money, but at the same time you will start to form your first capital. And you can spend only the remaining money. It's corny, but nevertheless, many people neglect this simple wisdom, and as a result, it turns out that a person can have an excellent salary. But at the same time, he has absolutely no savings, because he is not actually paying himself. He is paying other people who build their business and their financial well-being on him. Invest on facts, not emotions. The point is that investors act on human emotions. They get very excited during a bull market, and they constantly look back and say, "I made a lot of money last year, I am going to do more this year. And this time I'll even borrow money." They constantly look back, and when they see that they have made a lot of money, they rush to buy more and more and move higher and higher. But when they look back and see no big profits, they say, "This is lousy place, there is no point investing my time on it, no matter what happens to the real business." It's ridiculous, but it creates a huge investment opportunity. Don't underestimate your money habits. Here you need to understand that our life and our future are formed from what we do every day. Here is a classic example. A girl lives in a big city and has made a habit of going in and buying coffee to go and some delicious bun every day before work. Every day she spends $5 on it. It turns out that for a week it's $25. For a month it's $110. And for a year it's already $1,320. Imagine, she could invest them and at the expense of compound interest in 10 years form a good amount of money for herself in her brokerage account. But no, the girl firstly spends money, and secondly, she also consumes extra calories. Therefore, don't underestimate what we do with you every day on a daily basis. If you want to change your life, then right tomorrow, stop spending money on some nonsense that you don't really need, and in a few years your financial condition will increase significantly thanks to this discipline. Buy only those stocks that you understand. I have one time tested belief that I can only earn where I have understanding. And when I talk about understanding, I don't mean understanding how products or similar things are made, but I mean understanding the economic components of a business. Understanding what the business will look like in 10 or 20 years. I know what the chewing gum business will look like in 10 years, and the internet will not change people's behavior in this matter. If you have a significant share of the gum market and you have brands like Five, Orbit, Doublemint, then these brands will probably remain in 10 years. I don't know exactly what market share they will have. I am not going to try to predict such things, but when I evaluate companies, I look at my range of competencies. What do I understand in this business? Do I understand the economics of this business, and do I understand the competitive advantages specific company? Price and value are not the same. Benjamin Graham, author of The Intelligent Investor and Warren Buffett's teacher, said, Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Warren Buffett is known for his frugal approach to life and moderation in needs. He is what Buffett says. Whether we're talking about socks or stocks, I like buying quality merchandise when it is marked down. However, Buffett with his economy doesn't overdo it and doesn't seek to buy everything on the cheap. Here's his famous phrase: "It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price." Don't sell the stock until fundamental reasons for owning a business have changed. We will not sell a business no matter how much we are offered, even if someone offers us 3 times what the business is really cost. No matter how tempting the offer may seem, we will not sell. I know I could be wrong with this approach to life, but now I have so much money that I can cover all my needs that can arise. Money for me is just numbers that change in newspaper headlines or appear in my obituary. This approach has caused many of my relationships to break off with people I like, but it has also become the reason why many people follow me. To me, this kind of sale looks like someone is offering a big check for the sale of one of my children. I will not do this, and I tell my partners about this, and the more shares we have, the more we are affirmed in this approach. If our fund was chronically underfunded, we probably would have to take a different approach. But now we tend to not sell the business until the fundamental factors of management, the economic situation, and the company's outlook have changed. But we will not sell the company just because it's expensive now. Borrow money wisely. In his opinion, it's necessary, if possible, to avoid credit money, credit cards, installment cards, mortgages, and other instruments. This is a road to nowhere, because life is full of unforeseen moments, and the situation may arise when your monthly payment turns out to be more than your monthly income. In this case, you will have to take out a loan for a loan, and there is a high probability of being in a debt trap. Buffett believes that credit is primarily a tool for rich people, and I cannot disagree with him. A simple example: if you have a working business or investment that brings a stable 20% per annum, and you are sure that you will receive such a return this year, then why not take out a loan, for example at 11% per annum, so as not to take money from work? I have seen many people who have failed because of alcohol. But I have also seen a lot of people who have gone bankrupt because of their excessive interest in loans. If you are smart enough, you can make money without borrowing. If this video was useful to you, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, so as not to miss new videos.